Chances are if you clicked on this video, you are interested in switching to a Hitbox controller, but there are a couple of variants now on the market, and I want to kind of talk about the pros and cons of each as somebody who's played on one of these for about 2 years, and I also own this little guy and even this little version for Smash. And I don't even play Smash, I just really like all button controllers, so I think I'm pretty qualified to talk about it and give you guys an opinion. I should also probably mention before we get started, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies or in partner with any of these companies that we're going to talk about today. I did reach out to them because, I mean, the top 3 videos on this channel are all about the Hitbox, but I guess we're not clouded enough for that yet, so let's burn some bridges that do not exist today. Let's start with the newest one. This is the Victrix Pro FS12 Fight Stick, and the first thing that's going to jump out to you is the price point. It is $400, which puts it at kind of that enthusiast grade up there with the Kwamba Dragon, even the VLX. The VLX is probably more than this by now, but yeah, it puts it at a very high tier, which I cannot recommend that you spend $400 on your first Hitbox because you don't even know if you're going to like it, and you don't know if you're going to stick with it, right? It could be a $400 paperweight by the end of the year. So as much as I want to purchase this because I'm a big enthusiast of these all button controllers. I have a few of them now. I really like the Victrix case. I just can't recommend it for somebody who doesn't already own a Hitbox or has played on it extensively. It does come with everything standard, the 11 24mm sandwall buttons, the big 30 on the bottom for the jump, but it has that really nice case, the really nice brushed, I think it's brushed aluminum or metal or some type of metal, right? And it has the really nice open panel in the back where you can also switch modes now, right? You can switch to PS5, PC, and PS4. It seems like a good product and a good package. Just $399.99 is a lot of money. Also, the fact that it does come with the normal sandwall 24mm buttons is kind of weird for $400. You would think it would have some type of mechanical switch in it. That's what I use. I use the gamer finger with quick silvers inside of it, MX Cherry silvers. And it feels way better than sandwalls, I'll be honest with you. And if you've switched to them from sandwalls, you know what I'm talking about. So the fact that this one is $400, ships with the same buttons that come in sticks that are half the price, is kind of concerning. And for somebody like me who already has a set of those buttons, I can just throw them in here. If you were to purchase this, you would also want to purchase mechanical buttons in the future because these sandwalls do sometimes get mushy over time. And you know what I'm talking about if you've played extensively on sandwall buttons. So not only are you paying $400 for the stick, you're adding on maybe another $50 to $100 for a set of buttons. And remember, now you have to buy 11 plus a 30 mil. It's not your normal 8 or whatever you buy on a stick because those 3 or where your level would be is now 4 different buttons. So effectively, you're like $450, $500 in the hole for this controller. Even after taxes, shipping, everything like that for the buttons and the stick, you're probably closer to $600. That's a lot of money for a controller you don't even know if you're going to like yet. So I don't recommend that you purchase this quite yet. Now, the most cost-effective option is to convert your stick into a Hitbox using one of these kits that Arcade Shock used to sell these. I can't find it on the website anymore, but there's other stores online that might sell it. Or if you know somebody who you can buy it from in your local scene, this is your cheapest option. You can just buy the kit, convert it yourself, throw a Brooks board in there if you want, and it will be significantly cheaper than most other options you have. But of course, you have to convert your stick, right? So once you change it, it's going to be a Hitbox. And then you could change it back if you wanted. You just have to do all the parts and labor and everything like that yourself. But honestly, people who are going to do that probably didn't click on this video. Let's move on to the Snackbox Micro. Now, I do own this one, as you saw previously, and it was my second Hitbox. I had the big one first. I love this thing, right? It feels great. Build quality is good. Has mechanical switches. Has a lighting kit. Feels very sturdy for a product this small. It does not feel like it will bend or break or anything like that. The only thing is it is micro, like it's advertised. It's very small. So for me, it's not comfortable to play in long sessions. Like I wouldn't daily play on this specific Hitbox. And if it's your first Hitbox, I wouldn't purchase it, right? I would purchase one of the bigger ones or convert your stick over this as your first one. If you travel a lot though, it is a great buy. I do travel with it a lot when I go back to Houston, and I always keep it in my backpack. It's a great thing to have, but it's just kind of uncomfortable for me to play on at all times because of how close you kind of got to squeeze your legs together. It's very small, as advertised. But I guess if you're really comfortable playing with it on a table, or maybe you're just a smaller person than me, you would enjoy it. It does give you all the benefits of the bigger hitboxes in a smaller package, and even more benefits than some of the other ones that we're going to take a look at. Now, as far as still retaining the portability but having a little bit more surface area to put on your lap, I think the MPress kind of fills that gap that I was talking about, where the micro is a little bit too small, and then some other options might be a little bit too big for you, to travel with. Converting your Obsidian into a hitbox and then putting it in a suitcase or a backpack is kind of a big ask when you're flying around the country to go to all these different events. So this seems to fit that niche, but I can't really give you a full review on it because I've never played on it and I've never seen one in real life. I did try and purchase one a long time ago, but as you can see, it is sold out and only for pre-order. If anybody from Paradise Arcade happens to see this, send me one over. I give you a full review on the house. Don't even worry about it. It looks like they're doing quite well without me though, because they are all sold out, even of the Brooks board upgrade. All right, let's end with my daily driver here, the Hitbox Arcade Hitbox. Mine looks quite different than what you'll receive in the mail, but it's the same case and everything like that. Very sturdy. I've definitely raged a few times, more than a few times, with this thing, and it's always held up. You can't really go wrong with this controller. It's a great size. It's a little bit smaller than like a Quamba Obsidian, but it has the weight to it that you like. It's $249. It's about it's almost half the price of the Victrix, and it ships with those same buttons that I was talking about, the 11 24mm Sanwas, and then the big 30mm on the bottom. That plexi that you see there though, that white, is actually painted. I learned that the hard way when I tried to put art on this thing. It is a painted white plexi with the little Hitbox logo there, so you have to purchase a clear plexi when you're ordering the art. But other than that, I've never had any problems with it. The only thing is when you start to mod it, like when you put buttons like this into it, the way that they're put in there by default makes them kind of hard to come out. And I don't know if that's by design or if it feels like they kind of crimped them down on the contacts on the back of these sandwall buttons. So when you're pulling them out, be very careful, because I've stripped almost every single button in here. Does not have the little connector detacher thing on it. They're just exposed wire that I wrap around the contacts on the back of the buttons. But that's a user error. You just have to be more careful when you're modding this thing. Also, make sure you take care of your cable that they send you. This little proprietary cable. I guess this would be one complaint. This is a proprietary cable, so you have to buy it from Hitbox. It has this weird little system where it attaches on there, and it has like these 5 little pins or something. It's not micro USB or USB-C. It's their own thing. So if this cable breaks, you have to buy another one from here, and they are sold out right now because this cable is kind of warped, and I tried to buy another one. It's all sold out, so I have to stick with this little jank one until it restocks, and that's kind of annoying. Overall, solid product. I'd say this is a good choice for your first hitbox. The MPress is good. If you're really hell-bent on playing on that tiny little snack box and you feel like it'll fit in your lap and you'll be comfortable with it, you can go with that as well. It has the good buttons. It has solid build quality. It's just very small. I'd say it's about the size of a PS4 controller, because you can play with it on like one leg if you really wanted to, on one thigh. And I guess if you're really trying to ball out and blow some money, you could go with the Victrix, but remember, none of us know what that thing looks like yet. We never played on it. We don't know the build quality or how it's going to function software-wise. So you're taking a big risk, and you're spending a lot of money on something you don't even know if you like. But I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money. I'm just here to give you a suggestion. Hope this helped you in some way. If it did, please consider subscribing, and I'll talk to you again really soon.